The day has finally come, the day of the TRB crash. Andrei Grachev is selling Tellor. Now this channel has quite a history with Tellor. In the very first video 1.5 months ago we talked about the fundamentals, but we also talked about the real driver of this rally, which was DWF Labs buying up a lot of the supply in order to manipulate the price and induce a lot of retail speculators to short the token, to bet on falling prices of the token. The first video was called How This Guy, Andrei Grachev, Will Crash Tellor. If you haven't watched that video yet, feel free to check it out. Another video followed 2 weeks ago. Tellor will crash, but not today. But here we are. It is today. Tellor is crashing. It appears like neutral market makers like DWF Labs, Andrei Grachev, people like this are now selling and depressing the price massively. Down more than 30%, and that's because we saw a transfer of 10 million worth of Tellor tokens to Binance. Here's the news on the Alpha Telegram channel. Feel free to check that out. The Birch has fallen to 80 million from 140 million after exchanges saw deposits over 10 million. Now, how is this all working? Why are the market makers so interested in influencing the price? What's their benefit here? The benefit is that there's a lot of outstanding derivatives contracts. A lot of people are betting on the Tellor price to go up or down. Currently, most people are betting on the price to go down. Now, this means that the whales have an incentive to buy up the token. When a lot of people bet on falling prices, they can buy up the token and let those people liquidate. The same is true the other way around, right? When a lot of people bet on rising prices, they have an incentive to sell, to push down the price. Now, what happened with Tellor is that a lot of people were betting on falling prices and the funding rates were really negative. It got really expensive to short Tellor. And so DWF and others bought up the token more and more over time, pushing up the price more and more over time. But at some point they have to sell, right? At some point they have to stop this price manipulation because of course they don't want to hold this over the long term. They're not really interested in the fundamentals. That's why they pushed up this in the first place. You want to push up the price of an asset that's not justified to be at that level to induce a lot of shorts. But so you have to sell. And you want to be selling when there's not that much short interest anymore. This is what happened. Now we see this big candle down. And it will be very interesting to see what happens now as the short interest increases again, as more people are betting on a further continuation of the fall. Maybe the whales are buying back again. Look at this. This is the website of OKX Perpetual Futures, and you can order this by the total funding rate. This is the total funding rate in the last 3 days. TRB was minus 4.6%. There's nothing comparable over here. You had to pay 4.6% within 3 days just to be short that token. The market in aggregate thought it's that likely that the price goes down. Now this is a recent data point. This was not how it looked like just 1 or 2 days ago. This actually went down below 1%. There was a 0 point something just 48 hours ago. If you're currently betting on TRB, on the Tellor price, you have to know that still the majority of the holdings is in the hands of whales. The whales are still influencing the price to their liking. So you're betting on the outcome of a game, whereas the whales can decide what that outcome is. So you're fully in the hands of the whale. You try to get into the head of what the whale is doing. This is not retail-driven price action. This is currently the holder distribution of Tellor. And there are still 2 very large wallets. This one is DWF Labs. This one as well. And now there's 2 more large Binance wallets. So maybe this even becomes a battle of the whales, right? The manipulators at Binance versus the ones at DWF. Here's whale wallet number 1, another 40 million worth of Tellor. Here's another whale wallet, 10 million. And note, this price action was caused just by sending 10 million to exchanges. So that's how the whole game works, right? You only send 10 million to an exchange. You influence the price by 30, 40%, and you do this while the valuation of the project is 250 million now. So you're influencing 50, 75 million of value just by sending 10 million over, simply because so many people are betting on this. And look at that. When you go to CoinGecko, to markets, to perpetuals, you can actually see how much open interest there currently is. Yeah, have a look at this column, 250 million on CoinCatch, 102 million on Binance, 62 million on Bybit, 46 on OKX, etc. Add all of those numbers up and they are much, much larger than the fully diluted valuation. So there's much more betting on that token happening than there's actually value on that token than the market cap. You are betting here against the best in the industry, against people that have done this for years and years over. So be careful. This is a popular trade. If enough people are shorting and financing costs are really that high, maybe the price doesn't go down that quickly. If then the short becomes less popular again, then we might see another sell-off. So don't try to be in the majority, try to be in the minority. As with longs as well, right? When you bet on rising prices, when you buy Bitcoin, for example, you want to be buying when nobody else is buying. You want to be in the minority. Same is true when you want to be selling. You want to be selling when nobody else wants to sell because everybody is so bullish. So you always have to do what the masses are not doing. You have to be in the minority. I'm not saying it's that clear cut for a manipulated price like this, that you can simply just say, okay, the funding rate is high, so we should be betting on rising prices and vice versa. I don't have a crystal ball either what those whales are doing. Maybe it's now really whale versus whale, DWF versus Binance. Just make sure that you follow the token movements very, very closely. Maybe set alerts. Whenever there is a large token transfer on DWF happening, have a Telegram bot that alerts you directly and be the first one that reacts to those changes so that you're at least one of the fastest of the retail people reacting to something. Because in the end, this crash here still took 6 hours. If you can be among the first hour of people that react to something, you have still a bit of an edge. Looking very much forward to your comment down below. Feel free to subscribe as well in case you haven't yet. A like is appreciated as well as usual. And if you haven't joined our Telegram yet, now is the time. Link is down below.